Hi guys, welcome to Keeping It Simple Crafts. Today I'm sharing something a little bit different, so I hope you enjoy it. Today I am making a wild blackberry cobbler. So we picked these blackberries on our farm, so we've washed these blackberries thoroughly, and I have 4 cups of blackberries. And now my grandmother, she always made her crust from scratch. She made the best crust, but this girl cannot make very good crust. So I kind of cheated and I bought the Pillsbury Pie Crust. Just 1 box is all you'll need, and the crust tastes really good. So if you haven't tried the Pillsbury Pie Crust, they're a really pretty good alternative to homemade. You will also need 1 stick of butter. And in the description box below, I will write the recipe out for you. But you're also going to need 1 3/4 cup of sugar too. So just make sure that you get your berries washed good. And then you're going to, on the stovetop, you're going to add about 2 cups of water and put the water on high. The reason I'm using 4 cups of the blackberries is because they're a little bit small. Some of them are bigger than others, but it seems like right now they're a little bit small, so that's why I went ahead and washed 4 cups of blackberries. So it kind of just depends on the size of your blackberries, but 4 cups of blackberries is what I'm using today. And so I just put a pan on the burner and put it on almost high, kind of the next notch below high. And so then I added about 2 cups of water and 1 whole stick of butter. Now this blackberry cobbler is not low fat, guys, so sorry if you were looking for a low fat recipe. This is not one. So after you've added the stick of butter, add your 4 cups of your wild blackberries. And then after you add your blackberries, then you're going to add your sugar. And I used 1 3/4 cups of sugar because if you don't use sugar, they're a little bit tart, so I like to add sugar. And so 1 3/4 cups of sugar, and then just stir. Now, like I said, I have mine on almost high, and so I'm going to let the berries boil for about 10 minutes and just stir often and just let them boil for about 10 minutes. One time I forgot to add sugar to the blackberries, and my kids are like, "Mom, what did you do?" So ever since then, I've always made sure and added my sugar in. And so as they're cooking, they kind of change color. So once they boil for about 10 minutes, remove them from the heat. And I like to mash my blackberries up. That's how my grandmother always did it, and she's the one that taught me how to make this cobbler. So I lightly mash my blackberries. Next, it's time to get a baking dish out, spray it with some cooking spray, and then you'll want your crust to be room temperature. And so just roll out the 1 layer and just cover the bottom of your baking dish. Now you'll want to have your oven set at 350 preheating for your cobbler. And then just carefully smooth out the crust around the bottom of the baking dish, and then make sure you poke some holes in it with a fork. And then carefully pour your berries over your crust. Now we kept out about, probably about 1 cup of juice out of ours. And then with the top crust, you're just going to lay it over your berries and then poke some more holes in the top crust with your fork. Now my daughter likes a lot of juice in her cobbler, and then my son and I don't like as much, so it kind of depends. So with us holding out that cup of juice, that way when she's eating hers, she can go grab the mason jar, is what we always pour it into. She can go grab that mason jar and pour a little more juice in her cobbler if she wants to. So that's always a thought. If you don't like yours hardly as juicy, then you can add some in a mason jar like we do. But it took about 37 minutes for it to turn out this pretty golden brown, and now it's ready to serve. We usually always add a little bit of butter on the top of ours, and then sometimes some vanilla ice cream. So that just adds, I know, a lot more fat and calories, but it's so yummy, and this is a special treat for us during the summertime. I spent almost every weekend with my grandmothers when I was a little kid, so they taught me how to cook, and they were one that, they used lots of butter and fried a lot of things, and everything was so yummy. And so I'm kind of that way. I tend to cook like my grandmothers, but this turns out really delicious, and it's very simple to make, and I will write the recipe for you down in the drop down box. But here I'm just adding some more calories, some yummy vanilla ice cream, and then pouring a little more juice over the ice cream. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want me to start doing more cooking videos, let me know in the comment section, and I hope everyone's having a wonderful summer. Thanks for watching.